So this is where I store my trikes, at least 2 of them. So let's bring out the trike charge. So let's get this bad boy unstrapped, and I'll get her out of here. And where you can see my warthog. Well, as I said, it's time for the 6-month review of my SunSeeker FAT TAD. As I affectionately call her, my Warthog. I did plenty of videos of content shows of all my mods that I've done over the years, over the 6 months actually. And I want to review the pros and the cons of owning this bad boy for you. So let's go over that together. So let me pull her out of the bat cave a little bit. It's kind of hot today, so I'm going to stay in the shade. Talk to y'all right here. In my lawn chair. So as I do this 6-month review for you of the SunSeeker Warthog, I'm going to be dropping in old archive footage of the evolution of my SunSeeker FAT TAD over the 6 months I've had it. I got it late December, early January. My recently passed father got it for me for Christmas. That was one of his last things he did for me as a present for Christmas, and he really encouraged me to do this YouTube channel. This is his channel. I've continued on for him. He asked me to do that. He'd spent years working on this channel, so this was a gift because he wanted me to go off-road because he knew that's kind of what I'm about. So I have my trike charge that I love. I ride her a lot. I prefer to ride her over anything right now. And I say that because it's a better workout for me. The SunSeeker's a full suspension bike, front and rear. It's got little shocks in the front, springs actually, not shocks, springs. And it's got a full spring shock in the rear. The trike is rigid, there's no suspension. And as you start to ride recumbents, or even bikes, trikes, velomobiles, it doesn't matter. The more rigid they are, the more power you can apply to the pedal because there's no flex. This SunSeeker flexes a lot. Just by nature, it's like a big 4-wheel drive. It lumbers. It just kind of rolls through stuff. You can tell it has a suspension. It's got big 4-inch tires with low pressure. I keep them at max 20 pounds. You can lower them down even lower to get them even softer. That being said, for a workout, actually getting out and riding and pushing a workout, the trike surpasses anything I've ridden. It's because it's rigid. I enjoy it. It's more nimble. The trike is quick. It's just rigid. I can apply a lot of power to the pedals, and I can watch my meter on my e-assist, and my goal is to get that these blue bars down. On the trike, it has a red line that comes up on the side, and I'll drop that in and show you on this show how this works. But as you use more e-assist, a bar out here starts to climb on the outside showing you how much the bike's doing and how much you're doing. So the Terra Trike is more of a workout for me. She's sitting out there. So normally I wouldn't have 2 trikes. Actually I have 3. My rat rod is one that I built, me and my brother built. Rotator Allen, my bro, we built the rat rod. Go watch, I think there's 5 shows out there right now, and I'll continue to work on it and do shows. Terra Trike was the first one I got. My dad got me this Fat Tad, and normally I wouldn't have owned so many trikes, but it just worked out that way. It's now become my passion. I'm a Tadpole Smitty. I'm the recumbent rider. I'm addicted to it. I love it. But I will say these 2 trikes, that Terra Trike and this SunSeeker, are 2 different trikes. Yes, you can compare them if you want. And let's go over that real quick. I've done other shows. I've talked about it a little bit, but I'm going to do a synopsis for you on this. So the SunSeeker FAT TAD is a full suspension 750 watt hub motor with 3 gears in the front and 7 on the rear. The Terra Trike is a single chainring on the front and 8 gears in the rear. 250 watt hub motor. Now, why would you want more than 250 watts? If you're going to go off-road, where this SunSeekers went and going to go, you want a minimum of 750 watts. Now, I've read that the SunSeeker FAT TAD electric from electrictrike.com is where I got this rig. Actually has a 1,000 watt surge, but it settles out at 750 watts nominal, meaning that's what it's rated at. But out of the hole, it'll give you a punch. And that becomes real important when you're crossing gullies, arroyos, sandy situations, maybe some snow, where you're wanting to pull up out, climb a hill, a little bit of loose gravel. That's 750 watt with 1,000 surge. It'll get after it. It'll get you through that stuff. I don't think anything less than that would be suffice for this Fat Tad. It's heavy. It's cumbersome. It's kind of roly-poly. Like I said, it's suspension. It's smooth. It kind of lumbers along, you know. The Terra Trike will go on gravel roads that are nicely manicured. It does fine out there. It gets a lot of gravel up in the fenders. It's not as well suited for going in dirt roads or gravel roads as this thing is. So if I was going to have 2 trikes, I'd have my Terra Trike and I'd have this SunSeeker. Do they make a trike that's a combo of both? I don't know. I've never ridden one. I understand that Terra Trike makes the Traveler and the All-Terrain, which are highly sought after, and they do make those in e-assist now. I think you can get anything e-assist from Terra Trike now. Utah Trike sells the SunSeeker. ElectricTrike.com sells the SunSeeker. It's one of the best sellers in the nation. Terra Trike, All-Terrain, and the and some of their trikes are some of the best sold in the nation. But Terra Trike, as far as I know, has not made any full suspension bikes, and they do not make a fat tired bike. They make off-road knobbied trikes, but no fat tire trikes. I've asked them to start building them. They're thinking about it. They're very popular in the United States. Why a manufacturer wouldn't do that, I don't know. Maybe they know the demographics better than I do. I'm sure they do a lot of research on what they should and shouldn't get built. So I did a whole bunch of accessories on the back of this thing. I built my sun top. I put my side curtains on. I did my shark's mouth on the front. Proud to be a U.S. Air Force retiree. And did I say retardee or retiree? I got a full toolkit on the back. I've done a lot to this rig. Put lights on it, my toolkit on the back. You can go watch all those shows. I'm not going to get back into those, but they're all out there. Just go subscribe to my channel and you can go look at everything I've ever put out on the SunSeeker FAT TAD. Must be 30 or 40 shows on this rig out there. What do I like about it? I think I pretty much explained that to you. This thing is a beast and it will go where I want it to go off-road. It's a very stable platform. If you putt around on it, I've mentioned in the past, don't go fast on this thing. She's got enough motor to get you doing 20 miles an hour off-road. 20 miles an hour off-road. The suspension in the front, these little springs down here, are very limited on what they're going to do for you. The rear suspension more than suffices. The rear suspension on this rig is more than what you need. Utah Trikes does do an upgrade. Utah Trikes does a lot of upgrades for this trike. They're the only ones I know that do customization. They do steering bearings that are sealed instead of the open bearings here. They change the steering dynamic to a different setup. They do over here, they do the idler upgrade right here. This is a plastic gear that needs to be changed out to aluminum. I've done a mod on this where I put a bushing in there, and I did a whole show on that. This idler is known to fail, especially with e-assist. I put the hand grips on. I put the mirrors on. Done a lot to this rig. It's set up the way I want it to be set up, and she goes, the battery lasts longer on this than it does on the TerraTrike. This thing goes and goes and goes, no problem. If you're going to go in dirt, mud, sand, snow, this is the trike for you, or some other fat tired trike. I can't attest to cat and ice. I've never ridden one. I've never even seen one in person. Trikes are not that big of a deal in New Mexico. Why? I don't know. We have more sunshine than most states. We have premier riding areas to go on, but people just want to ride gravel bikes, and it's not a big deal out here. What do I don't like about it? The SunSeeker FAT TAD seat sucks. I'm gonna be blunt. I'm not happy with it. I'm borderline getting this close to getting with Utah Trikes and ordering the seat they sell to upgrade this thing. Now, why would Utah Trikes do that? Why would they have a special seat for this trike? Why? Because people complain about it. And I don't know why SunSeeker doesn't go out and fix that, because it would not cost them much money to fix the seat on this thing. Go copy the one on the TerraTrike. Even the TerraTrike, there's some things about that seat out there that I don't really like. I'm going to have to buy a wedge for my TerraTrike because there's a bar where my rump sits down and I've got it reclined. That seat is settled out and I pulled it as tight as I can get it. But in a long ride, my butt's hitting that bar underneath. So I need to put that wedge that I put on the SunSeeker into the TerraTrike to get my butt off that bar. I only weigh 185 pounds. It ain't because I'm a fat ass. It's because the seat's broken in now and it's got a bucket. And you need that bucket, but my rump's hitting on the bar, and on a long 2-3 hour ride, it starts to bug, something poking you. A butt across it's like sleeping on somebody's sofa bed in that bar in the middle. You know what I'm talking about. The mattress doesn't do it justice. And you don't feel it until about 2 or 3 hours into the sleep. Like, oh, this thing's killing my back. Or it's like sleeping in an RV that has a crappy mattress. Even the Trike seat could be improved. It needs a little more clearance. I put a compass up on the nose of this thing and a temperature. This is my temperature. And it's showing that right now, because it's sitting in the sun, I'm over 100 degrees. And it's showing that my rig's pointed southeast. Not that I need a compass. I've never gotten lost, but it came as a combined set. It fits up on this T-cycle key that I got. It snaps over it. On the other side of the T-cycle, I have my light. This is a 350 lumens cyborg light off of Amazon. And I put it on upside down because before it was flipped over up here and it was sticking way up. It was sticking way up here. So I didn't like that, so I put it underneath and it clears everything pretty good. Keeps it down out of the way. Every once in a while I tighten this little thing up here. So folks, how much I pay for this rig? I'm not sure. My dad got it. I'm going to say it was above $3,500 and below $4,000. And it was because it was a Christmas present. You can go online, get with electrictrike.com and get with Jason. He's the CEO. He's a great guy. I can't say enough good about electrictrike.com. They sell some of the basic parts for this thing. I found that if you're going to really want a lot of aftermarket stuff for the SunSeeker FAT TAD, you're going to have to go to Utah Trikes or get online and see if you can find them somewhere else. Utah Trikes does a lot of aftermarket stuff for this thing. They make these into quads. They do all sorts of good stuff. But electrictrike.com is going to set this rig up slightly different from what I've seen. Electrictrike.com builds their own rear hubs. Utah Trikes puts a mid-drive up here on the front bottom bracket. All the derailleur comes off. They go with a Bufang or a Bosch or whatever you want. I'm sure they carry all the mid-drives that you want. They'll install those up here. And electrictrike.com elects to build their own rear hubs, lace their own wheels, and put it on the back, which gives you a 221 speed trike. Mid-drives are different ride than a rear hub. Rear hubs are real torquey, they're instantaneous. Mid-drives are more not noticeable to you. So the seat just is not that comfortable. So I got a gel seat and strap this thing down. And it's a lot more comfortable, but it's not that good. I'm gonna upgrade this. It's not working out for me. It's the only complaint I got. So anyway, folks, under $5,000 for this SunSeeker FAT TAD. My Trike was $3,300 including shipping, but I got a 10% military discount. A lot smaller. It's a great trike, a great E-assist, price leading. Not afraid of it. Electrictrike.com makes the EcoTAD similar. I've ridden my mom. She's 83. She just started riding hers. 82. She just turned 82 yesterday, in fact. For her, it needs fatter tires. The EcoTAD comes with tiny little thin tires. Even These are 195s here. The EcoTad comes with a much smaller tire, thinner, and it won't go in the gravel worth a darn. You need a bigger tire. I thought about going bigger on this, but I would have to get rid of my fenders because these hug the tire. And anyway, these are the two price leaders in the e-assist market for an off-road Fat Tad. Nobody's going to beat SunSeeker that I know of, period. EcoTad's electrostrike.com is probably going to give you the best price. The rear hub motor is a little cheaper, a lot cheaper than a Bufang and a mid-drive Bosch. You're looking at maybe $500–600 less for this. The TerraTrike Charge is not the cheapest e-assist trike out there. There's a bunch of cheaper ones, but for a quality, well-built American trike, manufactured, built in America, it's sourced parts from Taiwan. Everybody's is, but you can't go wrong with TerraTrike. I love this trike. I really like my Fat Tad. For what she's made to do, she's a beast. So that's my 6-month review. I'll do another in-depth at a year like I did on my TerraTrike. So far it's just the seat, folks. Everything else can't complain about. Cost for ownership, maintenance has been easy. I would probably, if I had all the, here's what I would build if it was my dream trike. I would go with the SunSeeker FAT TAD with a Bufang or mid-drive on the front and a roll-off on the rear. Because this derailleur right here, this derailleur hangs down low, and if you're in sand, you're picking dirt, sand right up off the ground right here. And I have to clean this chain every 50 miles. And that's a lot. Not hard to do, but it's a lot of cleaning. You know what I mean? So if I had the money, I would go with a mid-drive and a roll-off hub on the rear, or some comparable to a roll-off. Then you don't have that derailleur. And you can shift on the fly. Or with a roll-off, you can shift gears without moving. Sometimes I forget to downshift and I'm in too high of a gear. If I was dreaming and wanted to spend another couple of grand, I could take this trike to the next level. And you know what, folks? Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll continue to build this thing out. I hate dumping the motor that my dad bought me off the rear, because then I'm out a couple of grand. That roll-off's over $1,000 easy. Almost. I don't know how much. I heard they're way up. They have different ones, but the Bosch is $2,800, $2,500. You're looking at more than I paid for the trike just to get one component. That's crazy. But if you wanted a premier off-road trike, that's what it would take. That's what it would take. So maybe I'll find a deal and get one of those and build it out for you. But anyway, folks, like and subscribe. If you like my videos, just hit the like button, subscribe, getting up there. And go back and look at all my archived videos that I did on the SunSeeker and everything I've done. Anyway, she's a good trike. I'd buy her. If my dad didn't get it for me, I probably would have got it for myself. If I had to go down to one trike, that's another discussion for another day. Till next time, folks, this is Tadpole Smitty. We'll see you next time.